The 1990s represents something of a golden era for cars, and especially Japanese performance cars. Japanese manufacturers were churning out hit after hit of awesome driving machines, but which were the best and, well, now most iconic? Well, here's our top 5. In 5th place, bred from arguably one of the greatest rally cars of all time, it's the Subaru 22B STI. This thing wasn't just some standard two-door Impreza with some stickers and a body kit to make it a special edition. The 22B was built to be a road-going recreation of Subaru's 1997 World Rally car and is arguably the best Subaru ever. It featured a hand-assembled, heavily modified and increased displacement version of the STI's already potent flat-4 engine. Along with bespoke suspension, muscular world rally car-inspired pumped guards filled by unique BBS rims, and was available in very limited numbers. Officially, only 425 22Bs were ever produced, and while there are rarer Imprezas like the polarizing S201, the 22B was designed by Peter Stevens, and he designed the McLaren F1, so he knows a thing or two about making cars attractive. In 4th place, and look, we had to have a rotary in this list, and why not arguably the best rotary of them all, it's the sequentially twin-turboed Mazda FD RX7. Why is the FD RX7 so revered? Well, the FD has an excellent power-to-weight ratio, weighing in at only 1,270 kilograms. And to put that in perspective, a Corvette of the same era weighs around about 300 kilos more. Plus, the FD has a perfect 50-50 weight distribution and a very low center of gravity, giving it superb handling characteristics. And finally, just look at it. The FD RX7 is one of the most beautiful Japanese cars ever created. In 3rd place, it is the Toyota A80 Supra, but we're specifically talking about the turboed manual versions. We're just going to pretend those automatic non-turbo ones never actually happened. If ever 90s performance cars had a poster child, it would be the Supra. But the swoopy-bodied, classic long bonnet sports car dimensions were more than backed up with some serious performance abilities. Under that long bonnet was fitted the now legendary 2JZ GTE 3-litre twin-turbo inline-6. In standard form, the 2J supposedly kept to the Japanese gentleman's agreement power limit of 206 kilowatts, but the tuning community embraced the Supra, and power figures topping 1,000 horsepower became nearly as common as Fast and Furious sequels. That sort of power in a car that doesn't weigh all that much. Remember, a standard Supra had a better power-to-weight ratio than a Ferrari 348 of the same era, resulted in a car that could steer and handle with real conviction too. Add to it that Paul Walker immortalised the Supra as a truly iconic movie car in the original Fast and the Furious, and it's a bit of a mystery that it's only managed 3rd place in our top 5, until you see what tops it. In 2nd place and sneaking into the 90s by just 12 months, it's Nissan's R34 Skyline GTR. The R34 was the 5th generation Skyline GTR and the 3rd incarnation of the all-wheel drive twin-turbo straight-six layout. But the R34, it lost some size when compared to the preceding R33, giving it a more modern, compact, and now 30 years on, iconic look. Power was provided and delivered to the road by a drivetrain as iconic as the car itself. Nissan's RB26 had been hurtling GTRs down roads and racetracks since 1989, but the R34 version received a host of upgrades, as did the sophisticated Atessa all-wheel drive system and super high-CAS four-wheel steering system. But as brilliant as the R34 GTR is in standard, guys, the fun really starts when you start fiddling with the oily and electronic bits. The GTR was always a darling of the tuning community, and the R34 with its more robust mechanical package resulted in R34 GTRs dominating as many drag strips as they did circuits and not so legal street races. It was a really tight decision between the Supra and the R34 for 2nd place, but the R34's breadth of talents just topped the Supra by the tiniest of margins. But with the legendary R34 GTR in 2nd place, what's possibly topped it? Before we get to 1st place, please do us a favour and throw us a like. Why not subscribe to this channel and make sure you hit the bell icon to turn on notifications, and also follow us on all of the socials. Right, in 1st place, it's the Honda NSX. Look, it's one thing to be an iconic Japanese performance car, but it's a whole other thing to force the likes of Ferrari and Lamborghini to make more reliable, more livable, more complete cars while still giving their owners all of that supercar theatre they expect. See, the NSX wins this top 5 not only because its perfect balance, steering feel and truly phenomenal chassis dynamics were honed by the likes of arguably the greatest racing driver of all time, Ayrton Senna, or the fact that its naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine is as inspiring as it is efficient and reliable, or the fact that its incredible engine is mated to possibly one of the greatest manual gearboxes and shift feels ever, or the fact that the interior is both incredibly comfortable yet it still feels like a proper race car, or the fact that the stunning exterior was created by design gods Pininfarina. The reason it's number 1 is because the NSX, it changed the game for the very pinnacle of consumer-level automotive engineering, supercars. See, the NSX took on the likes of Ferrari and Lamborghini and Lotus and created a car that was more involving and engaging to drive, that looked like a proper supercar, that lapped most of the world's racing circuits faster, yet it was still completely reliable, it was relatively inexpensive to service, and it cost tens of thousands of dollars less to buy. And when compared to its homegrown rivals, where the likes of GTRs, Supras and RX7s truly come alive after a few tasty tuning mods, the NSX was simply perfect out of the showroom. So there we have it, our top 5 Japanese performance cars of the 1990s. Look, I'm going to be honest, with so many amazing cars released during that period, this was a really tough list to put together. But we want to know what makes up your top 5 list, and what do you think of our top 5 list? Let us know in the comments section below. See you later.